Hello, ladies and gentlemen, Insane Gorilla here, and welcome back to another episode of What If Deku Was a Mandalorian? Now, when we last left off, Izuku met Class 1A with idril, who gave Class 1A and Class 1B, along with Aizawa and the Wild World Pussycats, a bit of a scare, because they now found out that Deku was virtually a uber soldier, one with advanced skills, tactics, and a hell of a combat prowess. And like in the last episode, Bakugo was still captured. But a lot of the villains some of the villains were still taken to jail. Well, the Gas Boy and, well, Toga. The others still managed to escape. And like Toga and the Gas Guy, there was another one called Muscular who ended up going straight up the middle with a lightsaber that killed him, aka from Deku. And, well, here's where we left off. Deku going back to, well, the camp while being held by two Mandalorians. As they simply say, well, now that they know that they've got some well armed and deadly guests on their planet, let's just hope we don't bump into anything nasty. As they land, Ahsoka and Rex, along with a few other Mandalorians, say, well, as Rex says, what happened out there? We saw some smoke and you guys all took off. As Izuku says, just some locals having a bit of a fight, so we decided to put a quick and decisive end to it. As, well, Rex says, okay, did they follow you? As they say, no, they didn't follow us. We gave them one hell of an explanation not to. I see. Well, let's continue on with getting this place operational, okay? As Ahsoka walks up to Deku saying, come on, we still need to do a bit of your training. Get your armor back on. Well, not your armor back on, but get back into a fighting stance and we'll continue. As Deku continues fighting with Ahsoka, idril's still watching for any signs of trouble, and yeah, for the most times things were quiet. She does see a few things that seem to be very suspicious as she goes to check it out, telling some of her Mandalorians to keep a watch out for any unusual activity. She's just going to check something out. As they agree, she walks off and doesn't return for some time. Meanwhile, over with Ahsoka and Deku, Ahsoka actually gets put to the back foot once again, as Deku has improved his skills as they were practicing. As Ahsoka just says, you've gotten better. I see that you've learnt a few more tricks as you were out stopping the natives, I guess. And Sticky just simply says, huh, I just simply put them into you, put your tricks into use. I hope you like it. As Ahsoka smiles, saying, oh, I haven't shown you any of my tricks yet. It's something me and my master used to always do. We always used to count our kills during the Clone Wars. We were fighting droids back then, so nothing bad like that. It was just droid kills and all that. The occasional bug on Geonosis, though, that campaign was horrific. As Deku sort of stops for a bit and sits down, taking off his helmet, asking what was it like fighting in the Clone Wars. As Ahsoka gives him the explanation, saying, war isn't all fun and games. I learnt that. I thought the war was just a big game, considering troopers were dying left, right, and centre, trying to keep the bulk of the separatists at bay. I left the Jedi Order after something happened, and honestly, I don't want to talk about it, if that's okay with you. Decker just says, my apologies, I didn't want to bring up bad memories. Ahsoka just says it's alright. The memories are and she pauses for a bit, saying, and by the way, sorry about that, it was me yawning. Don't know why, but I still yawn every time I try to do a video. As Ahsoka just says it's long and complicated, I'll give you the simplified version. During the end reigning hours of the Clone Wars, a signal went out to all the clones. Well, I don't know if it was a signal or the clones just snapped. But a lot of clones turned on the Jedi. All bar from a few. Rex, for one, and the 212th Attack Battalion. I'm using legends for this, and plus I'm shifting it all around. As Ahsoka says, that's sensing trouble, as she says, be on guard. You might have trouble. As a voice says, so, here we are. As Deku and Ahsoka turn around to see this. And it's not just one, but 12. We elite assassins usually get called out for something much more difficult. But it appears we have a Jedi. 2 Jedi on our hands. How predictable that they are training and never felt our presence. What a surprise. As Ahsoka immediately realizes who they are and says, Midoriya, lightsaber's ready. These guys are elite assassins. As Rex turns up from behind them, saying, yeah, clone elite assassins, trained to kill Jedi. As they say, traitor. You betray your brothers for the Jedi. How low can you go? As they CT 55 the 7, which is Captain Rex's birth number. As Rex says, "My name is Rex." As they say, "We don't care. You're just another target. Thank the Emperor Lord Vader sent us to deal with you. He told us to keep the boy alive. There's someone who wants to speak with you, young man. So we've been asked to keep you alive. As much as we hate to disappoint Lord Vader, this order came directly from up high, above station, to be precise. 1 minute, guys. Okay, sorry about that. I accidentally pulled out my whole entire headset, sorry. So, where was I? Ah, yes. The Clone Assassins. From, well, if you ever played Revenge of the Sith on the Xbox 360, where Obi-Wan Kenobi and Master Yoda faced these guys, you'll know how deadly they were, especially if you died to them numerous amounts of times, like I did. Anyway, as Ahsoka immediately recognizes who they were referencing from Vader and above even his station, she says, "The Emperor." As the clone assassin says, "Shut it, Togruta. You're a Jedi, so we get full pleasure to kill you. It's the boy he wants alive." As Ahsoka just says, "Then face us." As Rex starts firing. As the clone assassin says, "We're a bit too quick for a blaster bolt, Rex." As Rex gets flatlined, or clotheslined, a lot of the Mandalorians heard the blaster bolt go off, so they immediately start rushing off towards the sound. As the clone assassins start tangoing with Izuku and Ahsoka. And they are good. But unfortunately for them, Izuku knows the form that they use. So he's sort of at a stalemate with them. As the one he's facing uppercuts him, cutting the side of his face a bit, giving him a nasty gash. As Izuku also gets him as well across the stomach, but it's not deep enough to kill him. As this clone assassin swaps out with another one. And this whole rinse and repeat, just rinse and repeat method continues on for a couple of minutes as the Mandalorians turn up and start firing at the clone assassins, who sort of say, "Get out of here, Mandalorians, we'll deal with you later." As the Mandalorians all come into combat, hand-to-hand combat with the clone assassins. Some of the Mandalorians do end up getting killed, along with three-quarters of the clone assassins. As the clones continue to fire, saying, "Yeah, why the hell did you Mandalorians have to get involved? Now you're just dooming this planet." How sad. As the last assassins kill a few more, critically injure 5, and, well, slightly injure 10. As the last assassin gets killed by Izuku. As he checks to see if any clones are still alive. He doesn't go over to check Rex because he doesn't really trust Rex so much. Obviously, due to him being a clone, and these were clone assassins. Damn good ones. So, but Ahsoka does go over to check on him, and she does not come out of this unscathed. She lost, well, a bit of her pride because she's got quite a few cuts and bruises, and one serious cut on over her left leku. No, over on her left arm. As she taps Rex to see if he's up, well, see if he's alive, as he sort of groans as he gets up, saying, "That's why you don't cross the Empire." Oh, Christ. Well, what did I miss? As Ahsoka says, "Oh, you just missed the battle, and that's it." As Rex apologizes, saying, "I'm sorry, Ahsoka. I wish I could have done more. But considering I'm getting old due to my accelerated aging, I feel like I lost another few years off my life just by napping, taking a nap." It's a pity those were clone assassins. That means the Empire knows where you are. And now they're going to be sending a full force here to kill you. This world is not prepared for this, for the war that's going to hit them. As, well, Deku sort of says, "How the hell did we not see them? And how the hell did our sentries not find them?" As a Mandalorian says, some of us were going to look for that Ren girl. She went missing a few hours ago. We don't know where she is, but we're going to start looking for her. As Izuku says, "No, I'll go." Because there's most probably some more assassins around, not really showing themselves. If it's one-on-one, I could possibly handle them. I feel like I've learned a lot about their tactics, so I should be able to exploit them. As he walks off, as he says, "Attend to the wounded." Mandalorians should never leave their partners behind. A few of them picking up on the word partner, as they say, is he talking as if those two are a thing, or another one says, "Nah, they serve together on the same vessel. It's just the two of them. Their mission involved something on this planet. So I guess that they're, well, that kind of partnership, work partners and that." As Asuka just says, "I don't know. It could be something else. He hides his emotions very well." But he's worried about her, hence why he's going alone. As he walks into the forest, and after a few hours of searching, he finds idril. He finds her underneath a tree surrounded by two clone assassins who were patiently waiting for him. One of them says, "So it looks like our main group failed after all." Blast it. Well, at least they left the two elite of the elite at the back. So, Captain, what do you want to do with him? Simple. Kill him. Our orders were to get him to the Emperor. Screw our orders. I say he forced our hand and we had to kill him because he was not going quietly. Or we say got a bit too out of hand, he put up way too much resistance, and we cut his head off by accident as they both run at him. Izuku tangos with them both, but because he now learnt their fighting styles and the way each one of them would most probably think, he dealt with one pretty easily, which just left him and the so-called captain, as this guy was a lot more prepared to face a Mandalorian with Beskar armor. As Izuku says, "You're good. Real good. What's your name?" As he just says, "I don't have a name. I was never given one. But considering you are about to die, I'd say you can call me Apex." Okay then, Apex. But I fear the Apex is going to get apexed. Because you're going to die here, alone, surrounded by your dead brothers. As Apex just says, "You really think an idle threat like that is going to spook me?" As both of them clash again, but this time being in a bit of a lock. As idril comes around, pulls out a blaster, and shoots him in the back, stunning him, well, shooting him with a stun round, which makes him stumble a bit, but doesn't make him fall as he turns around to face her. She shoots several more rounds, missing him entirely, but then has to turn around again to face Izuku, as he takes another shot to the back. Then takes a few more as he turns around while holding Izuku off, so he couldn't really dodge as he takes 3 more rounds, finally knocking him out. As Izuku walks over to her, as she still sits there, as he says, "Well, what happened to you?" As she pulls a Kenobi and says, "I could ask you the same question." And who the hell were those guys? As Izuku says, "Clone assassins. Elite assassins, to be precise. The camp was hit with quite a few of them." And she asks how many are dead, as he says, 12. 12 warriors are dead, several in critical condition, and a few that are lightly injured, Ahsoka included. I don't know about the other clone trooper, that Rex guy. I don't really trust him that much. As she says, "Well, I can understand why you don't trust him. He's wearing blue and white armor, just like those Vader's fist. how did you even survive Vader anyway? As Suzuki says, just pure luck, I guess. As he sort of says, you gonna sit there all night? As she says, ha ha, very funny. When they knocked me out, they dislocated both of my legs, so I can't really move at the minute. As Dickie just says, well, I should be able to help you out that, as he picks her up and carries her in his arms. As she says, don't tell anybody what happened, okay? As Deku just says, just laughs, saying, no promises. As Idril just says, this is my first ever experience of this. As much as I want it to last, I don't want to be made a laughing stock. As Izuku just says, you just dislocated both of your legs. Both of your both of your lower legs. It shouldn't take much just to put them back in place and let them heal. All Mandalorians need to relax once in a while. This could be yours. And she just says, fine, whatever. Just get me home before I slap you. Especially where you got your hand. As Deku looks down to see where he has his hand, as he quickly moves it back down, saying sorry, didn't mean that. As Idril just looks away, saying pervert. But she sort of says that with a little bit of a grin, as she goes slightly red in the face, but nobody can see it because she's still wearing her helmet. As she gets lowered down into a room that has some sort of bed, well, has a bunk that the Mandalorians took out of their own ships. As she says, thank you for coming to get me. Any other Mandalorian would have laughed. I'm just glad you didn't laugh at me, okay? But it still doesn't mean I forgive you for what you just did to my chest. And Suzuki just says, like, look, I said I was sorry, okay? And she just chuckles, saying, I know, just get out of here. And Suzuki just says, sleep well, Sleeping Beauty. And she just picks something up and throws it at him, saying, get out of here. And let me sleep. As he walks off. As Rex turns up and says, Izuku, right? As he looks over saying, yeah, what's it to you? As Rex says, please, stop with the hostilities towards me. I got no ill will towards the Mandalorians. Anyway, just want to ask you something. As Deku just says, sure. Ask away. As he says, not here. Come, walk with me around the camp for a bit. I want to check on some of the defences so we can talk while we're looking. As they go around talking about random stuff, Rex says he was a captain in the 501st, even made it up to Arc Trooper, even Commander, but he chose to become a captain once again after he chose to defect. As Izuku just says, so why are you telling me this now? Because Rex says, I know what it's like to be a leader. Like it or not, a lot of the Mandalorians see you as a leader. You just need a symbol to be that leader. As Izuku says, I'm not interested in being a leader. As Rex says, like it or not, kid, you already are a leader. You can't stop it. Find something that proves that you're leader material. Ahsoka found her leader material when she led a detachment of the 501st to free your homeworld, Mandalore, before it was taken over by the Empire anyway. The clones had a choice: to follow the word of the Chancellor of the Republic turned Emperor, or follow the Jedi. I loved the Jedi. I loved Ahsoka Tano, and I loved Anakin Skywalker, her master. I loved them both. I saw them as brother and sister. I always saw them as a brother and sister figure. Skywalker was always impulsive, brash, impulsive, but damn good at his job. I'm just ashamed that my brothers didn't feel the same way. Anyway, kid, pardon my asking, but do you like that girl or something? As Deku says, I do not have to answer to a clone. As Rex says, fair enough, but you'll be surprised what human emotions can do to a person. As Deku says, shut up, clone. My emotions do not concern you. As Rex says, alright, fine. I'll leave you to your own thoughts. But I'm just saying, she likes you. That little conversation you had. Have all the time with her. Or should I say, those conversations you usually have with her. She's often sort of walk away with a smile and her slightly blushing, by the way. If you ever see it, she's in love with you, kid. She's just waiting for you to realize it. As Deku says, I never knew that she was, because I don't like prying into other people's affairs. As Rick says, yeah, that's okay. You're sensible. But don't leave it too long, kid. You never know when someone else will pique her interest. Trust me. There are a lot of girls in this galaxy. Some often like the badass motherfuckers that the Mandalorians are. So yeah, go get her, kid. Because if you let her slip past your fingers, you'll be broken for the rest of your life. I don't have a family, but I sure know if a girl likes a boy, likes a guy like you. Knock it dead, kid. And that's where I'm leaving it off. Hope you all enjoyed. This one's focused a bit more on the relationship between Ahsoka, Izuku, Rex, and Idril. So, yeah, I hope you liked the clone assassins. And just let you know, Izuku's going to be facing more of these guys. So, yeah, like, comment, subscribe, and type down below if you want me to give Deku, well, make idril and deku a thing. Peace.